Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. It's actually not looking too good for Disney. They had their Q3 earnings call this morning. And while they did turn a profit in streaming, not Disney Plus specifically,
No.
but all of streaming combined, investors are very concerned about the state of their theme parks. The
theme parks is a big issue.
It's a huge issue. It's 40% of their revenue.
And they're admitting, oh guys, it's going to be flatlined like for a few quarters.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. I mean, this explains why they are doing, I think, the calls the way that they're doing them now.
Oh yes. Okay, so the last couple times they have done these 8:30 in the morning calls. Now this time they did a different format than usual where they released the earnings statements, and instead of reviewing what they were and talking about them, they only did a Q&A as their earnings call so that the big wigs could call and ask questions, because little guys aren't allowed to. The big investors are allowed to ask questions on the call. That was it. Like it was like 20 some minutes.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about this because the streaming news was buried. And it has been buried by the news that the parks are not doing very well. And they said that they're going to take a loss on the parks. They expect attendance to be flat. And this is before Epic Universe opens.
Well, they're preemptively saying it's going to be flat. I think Epic Universe is part of it. But the biggest part of it, and I think that's something we talked about a long time, is the fact that people don't have any money.
Yeah.
They have the potential stock market crash, potential recession, all these different issues coming up, elections, all this stuff. People are worried about spending money. They're worried about their jobs. They're saying there's going to be increased unemployment across the board. They don't have the money for Disney, especially when Disney keeps jacking up prices, and there's stupid Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes and all this shit just to ride attractions. It's so complicated. People are avoiding it like the plague. It's ridiculous. And I think there are the PR for Disney, people just are not happy with Disney in general. So why give them their damn money?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the streaming and the price hikes later on in the video. We're going to talk about the state of the parks. And I don't think this is a very good sign for this weekend at D23, because a lot of Disney fans expecting major parks announcements. And I think we're just going to get announcements of refurbs, things done on the cheap. I don't see Disney splurging on a fifth gate.
Well, apparently they're not even going to live stream the panel.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
I mean, a lot of other people will be there live streaming it, so you'll have no problem catching it from somebody else. But they're not even going to bother with it.
They did not hype anything up for D23 this weekend, which I thought was very telling, because normally they'd be like, guys.
Oh, in the earnings call? Yeah. They didn't.
They'd be like, guys, we've got all kinds of really cool announcements this weekend. I think you guys are going to be super excited for this.
Nope.
This is going to be fantastic. They didn't do it. They're basically like, yeah, we're just kind of on the low down.
No. This is what they were. Did we mention we have 183 Emmy nominations? Hey guys, did we mention our Emmy nominations? Our Emmys that are ABC, which we own. We have a whole bunch of Emmy nominations. And streaming, and we're gonna get basketball and NBA and all this crap coming up in a couple years, and the parks are gonna be down, but streaming and our movies are coming. We have a lot of these movies we've already announced, and we know they're gonna do really, really good. Did we mention we have 183 nominations for Emmys?
Yeah.
That was basically the call.
Yeah, what was really curious, you talked about the movies, and we'll get into this more. Tell you what, before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do. They mentioned their movie slate, but they didn't really talk much about Deadpool and Wolverine, because that was a movie Disney did not want to make, and that was a movie that Ryan Reynolds kind of pushed through.
Yeah.
And
they did mention Inside Out 2 repeatedly.
Yeah, and they're talking about the Avengers, but yeah, like they had to have their arm twisted to make Deadpool and Wolverine, and it
makes fun of Disney.
It makes fun of Disney, right? So that's a one-off, guys. I would not expect a follow-up, but yeah, we'll go through.
I don't know if they're smart. They would.
I would not expect a follow-up. They're not very smart. All the headlines this morning. Yeah, streaming did okay, but the theme parks are not good.
And as we told you before many times, the theme parks basically carry the company because the streaming, even if it has profitability, it's like we're talking a little bit. Like if it goes a dollar over, oh look, we're profitable. That doesn't mean they're actually making money at it. And you also understand too that the reason they're winning on the streaming anyway, which we're going to talk about probably, we'll talk about it now, is because they're bundling this shit with other people. And Iger even said they're looking for more opportunities to bundle to stop churn. So the reason they're probably doing this is they're going up is because they're bundling, but they have to share that. However, they get to count their subscribers across all those. And if that goes up, they'll count the subscribers. Doesn't mean they're going to get all the money they would have gotten. And now they've announced price hikes on Disney Plus coming in October. And people are done. They're just tired of it. Like they're tired of it. Like, it's about $2 to $20 per service.
Yeah.
So everything, it's like one service doesn't get hiked. Hulu plus live TV is going up to $95 or $96. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not worth it. The no ads, they run ads. You put it on the pause screen, there are ads. They put ads all over that and say it's no ads. Bullshit. It's no ads.
Yeah, this is insane. We are approaching DirecTV, Dish Network, which I guess you can get that streaming now. I guess you can do DirecTV streaming, but they don't have that many channels on Hulu.
They lose stuff all the time.
I mean, I'm watching, like I said before, if it wasn't for you and the kids, I probably would just watch Roku. I'd go buy a $300 TV, plug it into the internet, and you've got more TV than you can possibly watch for free. But $95, almost $100 a month. When we first got, and we cut the cord, we first got Hulu and Live TV to cut the cord, and it had more channels. It was like $30, $35 a month.
Right. And now since Disney bought it or owned the controlling interest in it, it has gone up exponentially. We're talking just in a couple of years, like way outpacing inflation, far outpacing inflation, which you can sum up Disney by overpriced. You pay more for less and outpacing inflation drastically. And people can't afford the current inflation, let alone the Disney's outpaced. If they have a choice between eating and keeping their house or going to Disney World, most normal people are going to eat and want to eat and keep their house. There are some whacks that will still be like, I'm going to Disney anyway. Then they complain about being homeless. But
Yeah, We'll talk about the theme parks here, but yeah, did you notice that the language around the streaming, since we're talking about the streaming, it wasn't let's increase our subscriber numbers. It was about retention. It was about engagement, because they're going to do the live streaming channels like they do on Roku and Tubi.
Yeah, and it was like basically it was about how they could get more bundling agreements with other people to try to get more subscribers. Because you have to understand, when there's a massive amount of subscribers, that's the same problem. It's the ad rates. But the ads are really good for the services, because people are, advertisers are going to get more bang for their buck by giving it. Then they might get less of the share, but they're going to get it across all these subscribers that they bundle with other people. They have more access to different advertisers. They're not going to make more money.
It's all pharmaceutical ads. Like anybody that's
it's true.
Anybody that's watched Hulu, it's all pharmaceutical ads. It's all medical ads. It's the same with Roku. Well, actually, it was weird. Roku and Pluto, I noticed that they're running like older commercials from like a couple of years ago. It's
probably because those people are paying for ads, but they don't. Yeah. I mean, advertisement, but they don't want to buy more or make more ads. They already have an ad that's still effective. Why pay for a new one when you can spend that money in advertising?
So let's go out this article here, Business Insider. I think they spelled out pretty clearly. They said Disney's theme parks are struggling, and it's another warning sign for the economy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the streaming sector made money, but it was a modest profit compared to what the billions of dollars they've spent on it. And the reason the stock is dropping is they basically just told everybody the parks aren't going to do so hot.
They did. They flat out said we're not talking like for a quarter. They're talking like for a few quarters.
I think if the economy does bottom out, because I don't think we're out of the woods yet. There was a little bit of a rebound yesterday. And it does depend on which way the election goes and how people feel about the economy. But I think a lot of people are tightening their belts, and Disney is a luxury item. It's something you can very, very easily cut. We just postponed that family trip for another year or two.
Can I just say something real quick? Hey, the Motley Fool. Neener, suck it. Continue.
Neener, suck it.
What was he calling the people that were like the Nate? What was he calling them? They were like, it was something ridiculous. Like,
I don't know.
But it was something like, you're just all the doom and gloomers.
Somebody called.
Well, it's sinking, so kiss my ass.
Somebody called him out, the guy from the Motley Fool. They called him out.
Ricky, is it Rick? Ricky, he was always bending over for Mickey. Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky's there for Mickey. Ricky's getting sticky with
Calling
Mickey.
people naysayers and the doom and gloomers and the negative people. Ha ha ha! Jokes on you because they had 2 wins. Suck it, boy. I'm sure you already do, but
Oh my God!
at least when it comes to Mickey.
Well, yeah. So what happened was they put the article up the other day about, man, we're getting like really sidetracked here.
No, I just thought about it because he put an article up and basically was like, ha ha, eat it, you negative Nellies that think that Disney's doing poorly. They just had a couple of good movies, so their stock's picking up a tick. So that means that we're gonna win. Ha 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 ha.
We're gonna win in the end.
And it's like, and they were like really like, just sitting there like pontificating about how smart they were compared to everybody else. And then it's like everything just collapsed again. So like,
there it is. And they called them out in the comments. They said every time the Motley Fool says Disney stock's going to do better, it bottoms out. So anyway, this is coming from Business Insider. Disney's theme parks are struggling. It's another warning sign for the economy. Disney reported weaker than expected results for theme parks, which anybody who's paying attention would know because the attendance is down.
yes.
I mean, significantly.
And people were like, well, one person was commenting. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. I don't have it put up in front of me on Twitter. And they said, well, everybody says attendance is down, but the Magic Kingdom is busy. Magic Kingdom's always busy.
Yeah.
Other theme parks, the Magic Kingdom's going to be the one that everybody goes to no matter what.
Yeah, if you have one day at Disney, you're going to go to Magic Kingdom.
Right. So, I mean, if the last park to go under will be the Magic Kingdom. It's always going to stay busy. That's just the way it is. Continue.
Yeah. It blamed the drop on weakening consumer demand, which it said was likely to continue. Americans are reining in spending after being hammered by inflation, forcing companies to adapt.
How many people are losing their jobs? How many people are losing their jobs? Because as things are pivoting to AI and everything else?
Well, yeah, and I just did a couple of videos the last couple of days, and you weren't in on those videos.
I was away.
Out and about, but we had Dell laying off almost 13,000 people. We had the economy on Monday took a massive hit, and people are like, oh my God, there's officially a recession now. A lot of people have been saying we've been in a recession for at least 2 years, but the government doesn't want to acknowledge it because it makes them look weak and out of control.
The government doesn't want to acknowledge it because it's an election year.
It's an election year.
Let's be honest.
Yes,
it's called spade a spade.
And you can't say, hey, put the co-pilot of the shitty economy back in charge of the economy.
Why are we in inflation? Because inflation. Inflation is the thing that affects many families because they want to buy bread, right? Because of inflation. And inflation, what's that mean? That means that we're in an inflation because it's an inflation. Thank you.
Inflation means your money inflates, and then it's more expensive.
No. That's too.
Oh, that's too wordy.
That explains too much. Because we're in an inflation because of you can't. Bread's expensive. You
have to listen to me. I am a man in a gray shirt
with a green hat,
explaining to you how inflation works. And here's how inflation works. It inflates. Anyway, Disney's theme parks are struggling in another warning signal for the U.S. economy. The entertainment giant reported weaker than expected results in theme parks as it announced third quarter earnings on Wednesday. And another sign that consumers are reining in spending as economic storm clouds gather.
At Disney, you're not talking like, it's, they're reining in spending because they don't want to make that, they want to spend that extra $100 here or there. We're talking Disney. And they far outpaced inflation. It's ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous. And they make it even more expensive with their stupid Genie Plus and Lightning Lane stuff. And they're making it, they're forcing you that you have to buy it. People can't afford it.
Disney's operating profit for its domestic parks and experiences declined 3% from the previous year to $2.2 billion, where revenue grew 2% to $8.4 billion. Well, when you're gouging your consumers, see, this is the thing. I noticed that, again, that change in language, it's not about getting more butts in seats. It's about monetizing those seats.
Right, because they have less people, so you charge them more.
Right. The company blamed the decrease in operating income at its domestic theme parks on high costs linked to inflation.
That they created themselves.
Yep, and a larger drop in consumer demand than expected.
You mean when you jack the prices and make it ridiculously difficult and convoluted, that consumer demand won't be there? No! Shocker, you don't say!
They could have mitigated this, the Lightning Lane shit, the Genie Plus shit, all that. That has definitely scared people off because they're like, it's expensive enough to go to Disney.
And it's so confusing.
And now we have to sit here and be like, okay, so I get into the park for $120, $125 or whatever, but if I actually want to ride anything worth riding, I got to pay another $15, $20 a head. Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, and that's you want the Lightning Lane, and then if you want the Lightning Lane individual per person that's like $20 a ride or whatever per person in your group.
Insane. Disney warned that the demand moderation for its parks and experiences would likely continue and could impact the next few quarters.
Few quarters, guys. We're not talking like 1 or 2. We're talking like a few would be 3 or more, which is a year.
Yeah.
A year at least. And Epic Universe is coming.
Yes. They said Disney's theme parks have been a key driver of revenue in recent years, with the company committing an extra $60 billion to expand them
Where
further.
are they going to get that from?
I don't know.
Their stuff, the parks are going down. They would have to use the park money to build into the parks. The streaming's it's profitable. It doesn't mean it's making a lot of money. It just means it reached profitability. Theme parks are off. We're covering the cost of that. Now they're down. Where are you going to get the money?
Yeah. So Comcast saw a drop too. People weren't going.
Yeah, I did know that because my friend that works there, hello Gina, said that it was slower. But Halloween Horror Nights is coming and they fully expect a massive upturn on that.
Well, I think too, a lot of people, if they're going to go to Universal, they're going to wait until next year.
Yeah.
They're going to go for
Not
Epic
everybody
Universe.
can just go like every year, you know.
No.
Especially not in this economy.
But they said all these fast food restaurants are being forced to have fire sales, basically. McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, they all have value menus again because everything creeped up. Like, remember when you go to Taco Bell and you could get a whole bunch of really good stuff for like $1? And now it's like, oh, you want they had like the new whatever Santa Fe burritos or whatever they had. And it was like, oh yeah, it looks good. Oh my God, it's like $7.
Well, they said Starbucks is reporting a decline in visits due to challenging consumer environment. Well, it's really bad news for the one that just opened near us.
Yeah. It's like, we were like, why are they building a Starbucks now?
Yeah. It's just not going to do well.
Why are they building a Starbucks now? Now is not a good time to open another
But they're
Starbucks.
offering deals too. They have ones where you can get a coffee and a breakfast thing for starting at $5 or $6.
Starting at.
Right. But they started putting out a sandwich board, signboard outside saying that we have these deals. So they're offering a deal too now.
Their happy hour, I think. They have a happy hour now where I think it's
2 to 5.
something like that, where you can get like a half price drink or
Yeah, so if
something.
you're going to go to Starbucks, don't go to a happy hour.
So a half price drink is still like $4. Yeah.
Still, yeah.
It's like, but it's not all bad news for Disney. Yeah, they made some money at the box office and streaming.
Okay, let's examine that. They made some money at the box office. Okay, their entertainment segment's already in decline. Okay, they've had years of bad news. Like last year, they had maybe 2 movies, one that made a profit with Marvel, one that broke even and made a little bit of money. The rest of them all pretty much failed. So they were in the hole. You have Inside Out 2, which is doing really well. But even then, you're gonna offset because it probably didn't cost more than like a few $100 million when you figure everything in. Say $600 million. They're at like almost $1.6 billion or 1.5 something billion. So they made money on that. But Deadpool Wolverine's gonna make money too. But it just came out, so there's 2 wins. And you might have some good ones coming out. I think you're going to get good box office. Moana. I don't think The Lion King is going to do as well as you think. Next year, like, oh, we have Snow White coming. People are already pissed about that. Oh, we have Captain America. People don't really care about that. Oh, we have Thunderbolts. Again, people don't care about that. They mentioned those things. And it's like people aren't going to be coming to those, I don't think, as much as you think. But 2 films doing well does not offset the couple years of bomb after bomb after bomb. You're in the hole already. You might have just got back to the top of the hole, but you are not in the profitability segment yet. You got out of the hole, but you're not like skyrocketing on your profits yet.
No.
But they're going to spin it like they are. But that doesn't mean that. And they also keep pushing about cruise lines because cruise lines they get more money per guest on that.
Yeah.
And they're saying that there's strong demand. But they have cruise ship after cruise ship after cruise ship being developed that they're paying for. They're getting ready to launch the Treasure this year now. And there's a lot of expense. And they made sure they said, oh, but remember, we have a lot of costs associated with that coming up. And they keep adding more cruise ships. And they're going to flood the market too much on that one because they keep doing it. And they're pushing for that. And that's where the money's going because they make more money per guest on those than they do the theme parks.
Yeah, because it's again, if Disney is a company, if they could just print money without any overhead, they would do it. Actually, all these corporations, it's not about like, this is a difference. The founders of these companies like Disney, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a side tangent, but this whole episode's been a side tangent, so that's fine. The founders of these companies like Walt Disney, like Gary Gygax with Dungeons & Dragons, whatever, they did what they did because they loved the thing they were making.
I wanted to see. I think they wanted to see what they could do too. Like
Right.
they wanted to push the envelope for creative reasons.
And we're not seeing, like, I'm listening to this call this morning and I'm like, this is the most, they're talking about their creative engine, their IP, their whatever. I'm like, this is the most uncreative company. This is like
183 Emmy nominations.
This is like having a math teacher teach art class, right? Like,
well, some math teachers might do okay.
yeah, but I'm just saying, it was very dry, very like.
You don't want an art teacher teaching math class. Trust me.
But it's you know what I'm saying, like Walt Disney, he sold people on the dream. He always wanted to push things to see where he'd go with it. A lot of times it didn't even make economic sense. Like Disneyland was a struggle, Snow White was a struggle. And now, you know, this company is just like, oh, these are the things we've done in the past, and we're just going to keep, you know, cranking out sequels and monetizing and blah, 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 blah. Value proposition. And they're talking about, like, you know, they're going to have, this is actually laughingplace.com. They usually do a live blog and they give you like a nice encapsulated view of what's going on. But they're not really making a lot of noise about, for all this money they're supposed to be spending on parks, they're not making a lot of noise about the announcements this weekend. They're just like, yeah,
they're just tempering expectations.
Yeah, they're tempering expectations because I think a lot of that money, that $60 billion, I think is going to go just to maintaining the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Some of that $60 billion might go to the cast members because the union just won. The ones that get left. The ones that are left. And I'm waiting for that. I am waiting for them. And this could be part of the plan. I hate to be that guy, but they could be like, okay, well, the union just got what they wanted. So now to justify laying off half of our staff, we're going to say because attendance is down, we're going to have to fire a bunch of you to pay for the people that we're going to keep who are asking for more money. And that's usually how it works. I look at Hollywood right now. It's like they're like, oh yeah, you guys got your big win with SAG-AFTRA and the WGA, but whoopsie doopsie, there are no more jobs. So I guess we don't have to pay you guys what you asked for. And that's what I think is going to happen with the parks. I don't think they're going to create a bunch of new jobs anyway, because if they opened the fifth gate, they would have to pay everybody through the nose, wouldn't they? Because of the unions. So they're not going to do it. They're just going to be like, oh, yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. I am very concerned because they will not live stream it. But the past they didn't either. So I mean, it's possible.
Are they going to get booed like they do with Pirates that one year?
That was
when they announced that they were taking
the crowd booed them.
Yeah, they were turning the wench auction into the Red the Pirate and Friends, and the crowd literally booed. So I'm waiting for more DEI makeovers that are going to land with a thud.
Have zero creativity.
And they're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? You know, we're going to reskin It's a Small World because it's not politically correct, and we're going to reskin. What else were they talking about? American Adventure. They were talking about redoing that one. Hall of Presidents.
Peter Pan's the next one to get it.
Oh yeah, that's going to be great. But yeah, I don't think they're going to spend a lot of money. I think what the announcements we're going to see, I think are going to be we'll see more concept art for the stuff we already knew was coming.
I think we'll see that. I think it's possible because I know they have to make an announcement for something that they want to razzle dazzle you. Doesn't mean they're going to get it. They might pull something out and be like, oh, we're thinking of possibly doing this down the road. What do you guys think? Oh, and they get very excited and then they never do it. Or they do a massively toned down version of it, or they just cancel it outright after they get the boost they want.
Yeah, Epcot. Look at Epcot. Like the blue sky version of Epcot was amazing. It looked really good, and they did about 50%, not even 50, probably 45% of what they teased. They canceled the pavilion. They took shortcuts, and same with if they do this Beyond Thunder Mountain instead of doing a fifth park. One, I'm like, does anybody, if you went to the parks when they were building new Fantasyland, it was chaos. It was like, and it took them so long to build new Fantasyland.
This area though is behind, so I don't think it's going to be as chaotic, as it was because that was behind too. But it
was like 2012.
No, but I know, but I mean, it was behind the area. They opened the expansion behind where Fantasyland is, and there was. It was chaotic, but it wasn't terrible because it was behind what was already there. And I think this is going to be behind stuff, so I don't think it's going to be as chaotic, but it's going to take them forever.
Yeah, it's going to take, they'll drag it out for 10 years. I mean, look at how long it took them to build the damn Tron coaster. One coaster.
That was a clone.
It was a clone. right? Like it should have been like they built the entire contemporary resort in less than 2 years, and nothing like that had ever been done before. But they can't build a roller coaster in less than 5 years.
Well,
So
you have people who want to work with you first.
yeah. Well, like I said, even if they announce a bunch of stuff, it's going to be years. They're going to drag it out. They're going to try to keep that money as long as they can keep it. And I wouldn't expect it to be as good as they tease. I think the concept art is always, expectation versus reality. With Disney anymore, it used to be the concept art was a pretty good indicator of what you're going to get. Now it's like, okay, well, whatever they're showing you, it's going to be about 40 to 50% of that.
If you get it.
If you get it at all. If they decide not to cancel it. Because they've had so many projects. Where are the new monorails? We were supposed to get new monorails, right?
Yeah, that didn't happen. I expect more, like you said, rethemes, reskins, updates to what they have, kind of announcements, or more blue sky stuff of things they already committed to.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be like people want another Disney park. I don't think they have the resources. I'm going to be honest. Disney is stretched so thin. I don't think they have the resources to build another park.
I think if they do say they're going to do it, I would hold your breath on that one. I think they just might do it. They might say it, if they say it. I don't think they're going to. But if they say it, don't. I wouldn't get too excited. Let's just put it that way. Macroeconomic headwinds and whatever. Meanwhile, across town, Universal, they're building what looks to be the most amazing theme park in recent memory, and they've got dragons that fly. They're testing the dragons. Yeah, they're up in the sky flying around and everything. I think Disney promised with, Galaxy's Edge and didn't deliver. They're kind of doing over there.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge was so easy to get right too. I mean, that's the thing. Like Disney, they get in their own way. Like Galaxy's Edge, all you had to do was make an original trilogy.
That's what they did.
That's all you had to do.
Because they get in their way. They wanted to make it about themselves.
Yeah.
Their arrogance is their downfall.
Yep. So I don't expect things to get much better for them anytime soon. I think people are looking at it and being like, yeah, the Emperor's not wearing any clothes. Emperor Bob, put a shirt on, Bob. But are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.